The thing about owning a ranch that's been in your family for 3 generations is you start to think the dirt itself knows your name like it would spit out anyone who didn't belong. But let me tell you, folks like Karen don't ever get the hint, and they sure as hell don't care about your granddaddy's legacy. My name's Lucas, and I never thought I'd have to defend the place I grew up at least. Not from a homeowners association with a taste for beige siding and fake authority. But life's funny like that, you know? It chews you up in the city, spits you out, and sends you crawling back to the only patch of earth that ever felt like home. So after burning out at a job I hated, getting served divorce papers over lukewarm coffee, and burying my old man in the span of 12 months, I packed up what little pride I had left and drove straight back to the ranch. 42 acres, just outside a town that used to be too small to have a stoplight now. There's a Walmart and a subdivision called Crosswinds Ranch Estates across the road, with an HOA that acts like they invented the land itself. All flagpoles and flower beds, you know the type. That's where Karen came from. At first, I didn't even know her name. Just noticed the same gold minivan rolling by slow, staring a hole through my fence like she was casing the joint. My dogs would bark, and she'd practically stop in the road, just glaring. Then one morning, taped to my front gaddy an official-looking letter, formatted like she worked for the IRS. To whom it may concern, it read, "It has come to our attention that a person is currently inhabiting the property at my address without community approval. Please provide proof of ownership and residency or vacate within 14 days. I nearly choked on my coffee. My family's deed predates her entire HOA by 70 years. I figured it was some mix-up, let it go. Yeah, that was my mistake. A week later, I'm patching up a section of barbed wire when I hear tires crunching. 2 county deputies step out of a cruiser. "We got a report of trespassing out here," one says. "Well, you're looking at the trespasser being here since birth," I tell him, half joking. Show them my ID, walk them into the den where my grandfather's deed is still framed on the wall. They apologized, said it was just a call they had to answer, and left. I thought that was it. Let me back up a sec. Folks like Karen don't know when to quit. Over the next couple weeks, it was complaint after complaint. She called about my goats, said I was harboring illegal livestock, complained about my generator, my dogs barking, even claimed my shed was some kind of unauthorized structure. At one point, she accused me of dumping waste into the creek. Every single time, I responded with paperwork. The sheriff's office practically started sending deputies out on autopilot, shaking their heads, telling me to hang in there. But then I woke up one morning to find an eviction notice stapled to my barn door. Looked official at first glance. All caps, stamped with the Crosswinds HOA logo, threatening legal action if I didn't vacate. Only it wasn't signed by a judge or anyone with real authority. That was the last straw. I called up Mike Ramirez, local lawyer, grew up in these parts, probably knows every inch of property line better than I do. We build a case thick enough to break your back, with every deed, tax record, and zoning map since the county was founded. Mike drafted our own cease and desist letter and told me to document everything. And you better believe I did. Put up cameras on every gate, recorded every bark, every bit of generator hum, every power tool that made a sound. I figured if Karen wanted a show, I'd give her one. So I posted a notice on the community board real public, bold letters announcing a weekend livestock auction, specifying that it was not affiliated with Crosswinds HOA and firmly within private property. I wanted witnesses. And man, did I get them. Saturday morning rolls around, and here comes Karen clipboard, printed bylaws, HOA badge she probably made at Office Depot, marching down my driveway like she's storming Normandy. I'm issuing a final warning, she snaps, voice all shrill. This is unauthorized use of land. You're in violation of community policy. I let her rant, keep my phone recording the whole time. Then I nod to Deputy Sanders, who's leaning against my feed truck, arms folded. He steps forward, nice and calm. "Ma'am, you're trespassing. This property isn't under HOA jurisdiction. You've been warned more than once." You should have seen her face, eyes bugging, cheeks red, veins in her neck standing out. She lost it, started screaming about property lines, residential sanctity, accused me of stealing from the community. Then this is where it got wild. She tried to slap my phone out of my hand, which, honestly, made the recording that much better. The deputy didn't even flinch. He arrested her for harassment, filing false reports, and impersonating legal authority. Turns out that phony eviction notice crossed a legal line. Real consequences. Suddenly, all the neighbors who'd been hiding behind their trimmed hedges and no trespassing signs started showing up at my gate. One lady brought brownies. Another left a note that just said, "Sorry, we didn't say anything sooner." It was like a switch flipped. Karen lost her seat on the HOA board in record time, banned from community meetings, fined, given a restraining order to keep away from my property. You know what I mean when I say karma's got its own clock? Sometimes, the best revenge is just letting the world see the truth. No shouting, no threats, just steady proof. Now, most days I sit on my porch with a cup of coffee, watch as the HOA patrol rolls by a little faster than before, windows up, Karen's seat empty. The swing I hung from the old oak out front creaks in the breeze. The sign says, "Welcome to the real ranch," and it finally feels like home again. The land doesn't need to fight, it just needs to outlast. And some folks, no matter how loud, just fade out eventually. But hey, what would you have done? When outsiders try to lay claim to your family's story, is it better to go to war or just let the truth do its work? Let's hear what you think about HOAs, about justice, about the lines we draw and the ones we defend. The comments are yours.